I never did introduce myself. Jake Wade, Steeler Wade Show, Director of Steeler Nation Optimism, Steeler Love Division. I sell Steeler Love. Best love in the world. Welcome, folks. That's my best Del Griffith impersonation of Planes, Trains, Automobiles. Hey, let's get into this schedule thing, right? Friday night, I hope that everybody's going to have a wonderful weekend. And one of the cool things that came up late was that I found out that the Steelers are going to play their third preseason game in Detroit. I'm already going to a Pirates game on the 28th of May, so that would really be cool to do something like that. I might pick that over going to spring training. I mean, you know what I mean? Not spring training, but camp. So we'll see how that goes. But let's get started on this thing right off the bat, Okay, I know there's a lot of people out there that they crave predictions or they crave, when we're going to win this and that. So, I mean, if you want it, I'll go ahead and give you the inside information. Steelers going to go 17-0. But besides that point, let's start off with Atlanta. The NFL has really got a way of doing things, pretty cool that, we're all thinking about this as far as Arthur Smith going back to the team that released him and things like that, and the soap opera of that. But you know what? We also have, I don't know if you've counted them, but there's 4 others. There's Scotty Miller, the name that I really want to see happen, MyCole Pruitt. I'd love to say that name some more. Van Jefferson, and the running back, the older running back, Cordarrelle. So that's going to be pretty exciting. I was kind of looking forward to it in the early offseason when they did do something with an offensive coordinator, that there would be tag-alongs. And there are some tag-alongs, and I think that's cool. I like that. So we're going into a beautiful stadium, and of course, I guess that's a win. Then we're going to go out to Denver in game 2. We're going to go play the Donkeys. And, I wish it was maybe a little later on in the season. But I think that game will be a little bit tougher than what we were thinking about. Here's another 1-2 step about revenge games. We have, they paid us $30 million. Paid him $30 million to get rid of him, and here's the game because it's probably going to be him that starts. That'll be exciting. Then we end up, our first home game is going to be the Chargers. And, I just don't give any cred. I don't give any credentials to Chargers. You ever had like a friend? You ever have like a friend that you think is dope, but they just turn out to be like baking soda? Like, I had one of them, and he was a Chargers fan, so whatever. Chargers, I don't give them any AFC love. Then we are going to go back over my neck of the woods. I cannot understand how this happens, but I'm pretty sure, if I'm correct, this is the 3rd year in a row the Steelers have played in Indianapolis, because I took my daughter year before last. I couldn't have the money to, hey, folks, press like if you would, if you're still with the video, and subscribe. Please just subscribe, help me out. I got some giveaways, about 6 more of these shirts, things. I'm going to do some giveaways on the show. I'm going to maybe have SWS, like with a big W on here, like a big neck tattoo. You can already tell the shirts are like kind of high-rising, whatever, dude. But, I really want to get that. I want to go to that game, and I think I'm just going to wait to the very end. Like, I just recently found out, there was this app out there a couple years ago, whatever. And their pitch was that they give you lower ticket prices because of, like, people want to sell their tickets. They don't want to go, and that's last minute deals and stuff like that. Well, I ended up realizing last year that all the guys, even like the Ticketmaster, they all discount the stuff. Like right before, like the night before the game, I could have bought tickets for $45. I mean, that's a party. I don't care where you sit. You know what I mean? That's a party. So I think I'm gonna just plan on that. So I'll just be a pencil. I want to go to the Colts game. If somebody else is going out there, that'd be great. I'd love to meet up with you. I'll do something. Then we're going to host the Cowgirls. That's a whole podcast all on its own. But the one thing is that it's going to be prime time. The whole world will be watching. This is going to be that Sunday night game, and it's like, it's kind of hard for me to, like, if a person were to day drink, or a person were to libations, or whatever they call that, it's probably going to happen earlier on a Sunday. So then you're waiting and waiting on the Sunday night game. I think I'm just going to have to establish a thing with my new job that this guy doesn't show up on time. You know what I mean? Just say, hey, I need to come in at 8 or 9. It's going to be a tough night for me. Waiting all day to watch my team whip on the Cowgirls. But I won't go anything more with that. Then they're going to host the Jets. I think this is going to be one of the most exciting games. It's one of the ones I'm most looking forward to of the year. I wanted to say that it was going to be like a real smash mouth game, but I don't know if that's going to be it. I think it's going to be I think it's going to be a trick game. I think it's going to end up having a lot of technicians at work and with the smash mouth. It's kind of a rare deal getting to play the Jets. We don't really, it seems like it's like we are strictly on that one every 4 years with the Jets. I don't know. It just doesn't seem to happen that much. It's hard. Like, I'm 52, right? And almost getting up there. And it's funny how your brain just locks onto things. Like, when I think about the Jets, this is so silly, too. Whenever I think of the Jets, the first thing that comes to my brain is Chad Pennington. Is that dumb? I mean, I can't get the guy. I mean, here it is, 24 years later, right? And when I'm writing up the schedule thing, he's the first thing that comes to my brain. Because he was like one of the first ones, like, ugh, I wanted Chad Pennington when he was coming out. That was the first time I'd ever, like, really looked into, really into drafts and stuff like that. And those were hard times with Cordarrelle. That was a tough little spit right there with Cowler and Cordarrelle. Cordarrelle ended up pulling it off in 2000, whatever. But that little chunk of time right there, man, I really want Chad Pennington. And he didn't really turn out to be much, but it was all whatever it was. Then, again, we are going to, let me move my notes. My notes. That won't work. Oh. And I did get a lead on finding a Cordarrelle Stewart jersey. Then we end up hosting again the Giants. That's gotta be, it's crazy, man. It's gotta be cool being. I mean, because like you want to moan about the primetime things and things like that, but I mean, like as a fan, I want the most availability of the entire world to see my team. Steeler Nation is such a world team. You know what I mean? I ended up, shout out to Steelers Nation Australia, but he showed this one on X, something about the dumbest comment. Follow me on X, Steeler Wade Show. And it was about a guy that was solely in Pittsburgh banging on Mark. And it was so dumb just saying, you don't even get it, man. You're across, what are you? You know what I mean? It's just like, dude, you're so bass backwards. And there needs to be like a podcast just banging on dumbass Steeler fans. Like the ones that want to say, here we go, shout out to another one. I'm just ripping this off. Shout out to, but people just want to talk smack about Cam. Or just the dumbasses. Like when you have to watch, when you just wait for a Tomlin press conference, and all you see is these fire comments like, There needs to be a podcast strictly just banging on fucking dumbass Steeler fans. I'm not the one to do it because I'm dumbass. But all right, back to the Newts. But I don't really have anything against the Giants. I know Giant fans, and they used to have they used to have by far the prettiest blue of their helmet. That blue was the prettiest blue of any football team that bangs blue. And these new. I'm sure you've seen the Century uniforms. They're pretty tough to look at, but they did have a pretty blue on the helmets. Then we get to rest. We're gonna go on the road to the Washington Commanders, and it's another team I don't really have any respect for. I don't even know what they know. They just got money for them. They don't know what's going on, and they changed their name from the Redskins, which was hard as hell. So then it gets hot. 4 divisional games in a row. We're gonna start off with the Ravens. I'm thinking by the time we get to the Ravens, we might end up being the capital, because I think that NFL teams are going to exploit Zay Flowers next year. I think he's just going to be a poop. I think he's going to be like a worse than Claypool. That's what I believe. I just don't think he's going to make it in the NFL. He did some things, but I think he's not going to make it. And by the time we get to him, if he hasn't been completely exposed, I believe the Steelers will expose him in that game. And it will be he's just not fit. And that'll be also the first game coming back for Queen. That'll be exciting. Then we got prime time again for the world to see against the Browns. So we will be going. I'm a little teapot, short and middle pout. Not like the Browns. Tard Nation. So then, in 13, my favorite game of the week, my favorite game of the season, every year, since the middle 90s, I mean, it's always been my favorite game of the year, when we play the Bengals in Cincinnati. Always been my favorite game. So, I guess fuck Cincinnati. Those are 2 words about that game. Then we're going to bring Brownies back at home. Whatever. I don't care. I like the whole deal about this heavy AFC at the end. I just think it gives us more of an advantage. I mean, our team it's gonna be tough. Got a lot of new shit going on in the offense. You know what I mean? And we don't even know about injuries. I mean, what happens if George Pickens turns his ankle on the second game? You never know. So we got a lot of things, Then we're going to go across the state to Philadelphia. Odd game. And then again, we'll be playing the Ravens. So that'll be at least 2 divisional wins we'll have after that game. And that's going to be on a Saturday night. And I know that some people don't like the idea, but maybe it's because I'm not Christian. Christmas is more just a celebration with my family and I. Because they all do, and so it's all love, you know what I mean? It's all love. There's my buddy Dylan trying to call me on the telephone right now, but I can't pick up Dylan. And, but so we are going to host the Chiefs, so it's going to be a really neat Christmas, to win against the Chiefs. I mean, it's going to be, when we beat the Chiefs on Christmas, it's just, it's going to be cool, and being at home, the city is going to be lit. I envy. Okay, I was just dissing on a lot of these people, but now I envy you. Because it's going to be so cool, dude. Usually, it's always my second favorite game is usually always playing Cincinnati at home. And this year, I remember like a week ago, I had been thinking about this thing about a podcast. And I was like, maybe I'm just going to I'm always so stern about that. These are my 2 favorite, it's just the way it is. Because I want to beat the Bengals so bad all the time, dude. I mean, I love fighting the Ravens. I just miss the Browns, you know, and but I want to beat the Bengals, dude. So I've always had that, like the home game, us playing them has always been my second favorite game of the year, and I kind of left it open this year, and I'm really kind of thinking that it's going to end up being that Jets game, win or loss. I think, and I don't even give a fuck. I don't care about if it's Aaron Rodgers pitching or not. I really don't. That's not the part. It's the team of the Jets. I have good impressions on. So I just think it's gonna be a cool matchup. Like you don't. It's not the it's the matchup, not the whatever. But hey, if you're still with me this long, thank you so much. Remember to press like, subscribe, any way you can share. I appreciate it. If you wouldn't forget, I do have a little kind of thing I'm trying to work up as far as sending books out to inmates. And if anyone out there has any loved ones or friends that they would love to have just some kind of correspondence with, not like I'm going to be pep talking, I'm going to just send them some books, or if they like something, we'll send something out there from Steeler Nation. So I'll have that GoFundMe down there. And have a great weekend, Steeler Nation. How do you like that? Put in the comments. My first idea is I was just going to put SWS here on the sleeve, like the Steelers, you know. And then I started thinking, because these colors are so tall. Bam, big W. Boom. For like win. Bam. S's, you know. Tell me what you think. Tell me what you think about the schedule. And appreciate y'all watching AMF Steeler Nation.